I'm going to start this video with a mea culpa, and that is an apology. It's actually in Latin. Is it in Latin? Mea culpa, mea culpa, mea max. Maybe it's not Latin. Anyway, it literally means my fault or my blame, and I apologize because the last video was 9 minutes long, and research has shown that after 6 minutes, attention spans fall off drastically. So if you found yourself losing focus midway through the last video, I apologize. That was my fault. I will remind you when I share these videos with you that if you watch them for 4 or 5 minutes and then take a break and then watch them again, watch the rest of it, that is totally fine. I'd rather you take a break than just kind of stare at them and not absorb what's being said there. So I apologize. I will try to keep these next ones short. Maybe I'll have to set a timer on my phone. But we are now on to declining second and third declension nouns. So as I told you before, basically all declining a noun is stem plus endings. And then you need to memorize the endings. So let's jump down here just so we can get beyond my mea culpa. And let's take this second declension noun I used before, taurus, tauri, and it's masculine. Again, second declension nouns can be neuter, and they follow a different set of rules. Again, I'll give you a link to a video that explains that, but if your teacher expects you to know it better and you have questions about it, feel free to ask me and I'm happy to explain it, okay? So, as I said before, when you decline, you are going to put words in the nominative, the genitive, the dative, the accusative, and the ablative. Notice they are reverse alphabetical order, if that helps you, and then singular and plural. So, first things first, you're going to copy this guy into this box, and you're going to copy this guy into this box. So basically, you need to know 10 forms, but 2 of them are given to you. So you should be able to get 20% on any declining quiz because all you have to do is copy. So Taurus, Tauri. And notice there is a long mark on that I if your teacher is strict about those. As I told you before, the stem is the genitive minus that ending. So you will write T-A-U-R 8 times. And then you're going to add the second declension endings. So this is a new set of endings, but again, every second declension noun behaves exactly the same. So the dative ending for the second declension is O with a long mark. The accusative ending is UM. The ablative ending is O. So here, instead of the genitive and the dative singular being the same as it was in the first declension, the dative and ablative singular are the same. In the plural, the nominative plural is an I, so it's the same as the genitive. The genitive plural is aurum. The dative plural is is with a long mark. The accusative plural is os with a long mark. And the ablative plural is is with a long mark. So notice again, the dative and ablative plural are exactly the same. The accusative plural is the ablative singular plus an s. And you can start to see some patterns also between the first and second declension here. So the first declension, just to remind you, was I, arum, is, as, is. So notice that, the accusative singular for both of them ends in an M. The ablative singular for both of them is a vowel with a long mark. The dative and ablative plural, well, we can look at the genitive plural, aurum, arum. The dative and ablative plurals are exactly the same. And then the accusative plurals end in an S. So there are some patterns, and those are going to continue throughout all three, and then eventually all 5 declensions. So these are the second declension endings, and then third declension, the example I gave you was walks, walkus, and there is no long mark on that I. Sorry, I started to write one, but so this is the place where you have to be super careful to make sure you use the right stem. So we're going to copy walks into the top box. We're going to copy wocus into the second box. And then the stem is VOC. So VOC, you're going to use VOC everywhere else. And then the ending. So the dative ending is an I with a long mark. The accusative ending is an EM. The ablative ending is E, and that does not have a long mark. I usually am not very strict about that because it's the only ablative singular that doesn't. But again, if your teacher expects you to know that, that E does not have a long mark. The nominative plural is ES with a long mark. The genitive plural is UM, no long mark. The dative plural is ibus, and because you know that's the dative plural, you know the ablative plural is also ibus, and then the accusative plural is ES. So again, some endings overlap. The tricky thing about this is that a third declension genitive plural, vocum, um, could in a sentence look exactly the same as an accusative singular second declension noun. So this is where, again, if all the endings were distinct, it would be a piece of cake. But this is where, you know, you need to know the endings, and then you need to use context to help you out with determining what's what. So, but as always, the dative and the ablative plurals are the same. The accusative plural is the ablative plus an S. And in this case, the nominative and accusative endings in the plural are exactly the same. So those are the endings for second and third declension. I'm sorry I talked. I'm going to say mea culpa again, and then I'm not going to say it again because it's summer, and I know that you accept my apology, and you now know that you should just stop after 5 minutes and take a break and then watch the end of the video, okay? I'll be back with another video, the subject of which I haven't quite decided, but I will by the time I push record.